Hey friends, I'm Stephanie and this is my Squishy Nova, and I've been an online reseller since 2002. Right now I sell part-time on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And this is part 2 of what sold in June. In the month of June, I made $3,840 in profit reselling on these platforms. And today I'm going to show you what I sold to give you some ideas of what you may want to pick up while you're outsourcing. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first platform I'm going to start off with is eBay. Okay, the first item I'm going to share is this BarkBox Vampy Candy Corn dog toy, and it sold for $40. I got this in a bag of dog toys, so I paid 50 cents for this one item. And this is, I think, the medium-sized dog toy, and it sold for $40. Now, on these BarkBox toys, if you don't know the name of them, which a lot of them have crazy names, on this tag here, there is a code. And you can just go to the Bark website and type in the code and it'll tell you what the name is. So if somebody's searching for the name Vampy Candy, they can find it easily on eBay if you include that name in there. But I also include, you know, simple keywords like candy corn and Halloween. So if they don't know, like most people, they can also find it. Up next is this Trader Joe's gingerbread candle that I paid $4 for at a thrift store. So I didn't make too much on this item, but it was very small. It was a small tin candle, so it was definitely worth storing. People just love what they love in terms of scents, and this is a gingerbread one. So this is probably one that came out around Christmas time, and this sold in June. So somebody in the middle of June wanted to smell like Christmas in June, you know. So moving on. For $1 at a thrift store, I picked up this Quaker Factory Cocktails tunic. Now, I remember seeing these shirts, this brand, on QVC. This is before Netflix, obviously. I used to watch QVC for fun, and I remember this brand on there. People went wild for it. Anyways, this is super cute. So I sold that for $25. Okay, for $3 at a small thrift store, I picked up this gunned buck bear. Now, this doesn't look like a whole lot, but this is from 1-800-Flowers, and you can tell that from this tiny, tiny, tiny little embroidery on his foot. That's it. I mean, if you didn't know what that symbol was, you probably wouldn't know, what company that was for. But here on his tag, again, Gunned does put a name and the style number on their tags, which is really helpful. And this one sold for $60 for just a simple brown bear. But the lady that bought this, she said that her sister had the same one and she was looking to replace it. Okay, for $5 at an estate sale, I picked up this CRT style TV. This is a 12-inch black and white television, and it sold for $99 in just a matter of days. And I was able to turn it on and test it. I don't know what people are doing with these style of TVs, but they're really cool to look at. I know some people turn these into like fish tanks or use them for other craft type projects. So if you see something that's really kitschy and retro and cool like this, pick it up, look it up at least. You never know. I made almost $80 on this television. Okay, for $5 at a thrift store, I picked up this Global Crystal Horse Carousel Candy Dish. And I know it's kind of hard to tell from this picture here, but this is a clear candy dish, and it has the frosted horse with rider around the edge, and that sold for $36. Okay, for $7, I picked up this vintage Matchbox Space Shuttle Mission Alien playset. Now, this is a set where all of these pieces come apart to create whatever you want it to be, kind of. And luckily, this one had, I think, all of the pieces, if not close to all of the pieces included in the set. And here it is right here. This is how they all come apart. So you can kind of make your own creation. And that sold for $50. Okay, for $6 at a thrift store, I got this flounder costume. This is basically like a giant plush is what it looked like super huge. I don't know if you can kind of tell from this picture how big this flounder is. And this is only for a medium-sized youth. So probably, a kid under, 7 to 8 could fit in this costume. And this sold for $150, and it went overseas, so that's why the shipping is quite a bit higher. So if you ever see, this is an unusual costume. It's made by the Disney store. It's kind of ticking all the boxes. And yes, people are buying Halloween now, and I've talked about this many times before, but we didn't have Halloween really last year, so people are looking now to get their Halloween costumes, especially for something unusual like this flounder. Like, I doubt the Disney store is going to sell this kind of costume that's used. This is probably something that came out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe more. Okay, up next I have this Dakin mouse. This one is from 1975. I paid $2 for him at a thrift store, and he sold for $50 overnight for this small plush. This is a small little guy here. Now Dakin is almost always a pickup, especially these ones with the embroidered tag I have found to be quite valuable. And I have another Dakin plush I'm going to show you, and that's this cow here. Chewy the Nugget plush. He is from 1984, and he again also has that same embroidered tag. There are other Dakin tags that have like a printed style, like a satin type tag on them. So keep your eye out for those also. But this one sold for $100, and I paid $2 for this plush here. Now there were no other ones listed for this cow when I listed mine, so I kind of named my own price, and I went up to, so how I did that is I searched Dakin, and I kind of like tried to price him along the high end of what that brand sells for, and that's what I generally do if I have the only item in town, so I kind of name my own price. Okay, another $2 pickup is the cell sensor detection meter electromagnetic frequency radiation phone. And you know what, I don't even know what this is for. I thought this was some kind of Ghostbusters type thing at first when I picked it up, but it says it's for electromagnetic fields generated by power lines, computer monitors, TVs, appliances, home wiring, and other unsuspected sources. I don't know why someone would need this, but somebody did, and they paid $35 for it. Okay, for $3 I picked up this Vanity Fair pink bathrobe house coat. This is a full zip-up velour style coat, and I just loved these colors. To me, it reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. I don't know, it's giving me Golden Girls vibes. I really loved it, and somebody else too, and they paid $45 for it. Okay, for $3 at an estate sale, I picked up this Chatham acrylic satin trim blanket. This is a king size, so I measured it. It was 90 by 102. And it sold overnight for $75. The really big sizes like the queen and king, those are a lot harder to find, so they're a lot more desirable for people. But even if you find the smaller sizes, people love these. For some reason, people really like these acrylic and satin trim blankets. Okay, this next item sat in my death pile for an embarrassingly long period of time. I mean, maybe over a year. I don't know. It was way too long. So this summer I've decided I'm getting rid of my death pile. I'm not playing this game anymore. I need to get rid of the stuff. Either it needs to get listed or it needs to get sold. Now these sat in my death pile because they had a stain on them, and I'd soaked them many times and I still couldn't get it out. So there's a stain there, and there's like a few other discoloration marks that I made sure to disclose in the picture. So there's one right there also. But I just went ahead and listed them. I paid $3 for them, and they sold within a few days for $60. And they were just sitting in my pile for no reason. So if you have items, just list them. Even if you're going to get a little bit less, it's going to get out of your pile, and it's going to put that money back in your hands. Okay, for $25 each, I picked up these Avalon dual stage replacement filters at Walmart. Kind of like a retail arbitrage kind of thing. I don't generally do that, but these were like super cheap. I think they were marked down like 75% at Walmart. So I only picked up 2. I'm kicking myself. I should have picked up all they had, because these did take about 3 to 4 weeks to sell, but they both sold to the same person. So $25 each that I paid for turned into $89 each. So I made a lot of money on these filters, which were super easy to photograph. And you know, next time I think I'd pick things up and then return them. But now I know for next time. Okay, for $2 at a thrift store, I picked up this ILGWU. That's a union. That's the Ladies Garment Workers Union. Rosebud Baby Blanket Crib Pad. Now this is a crib pad. I call this a crib pad because it is padded. It is kind of thick and bulky. And it's kind of hard to see from the pictures here. Here's a little bit better. You can kind of see the loft. And this sold for $73 for this baby blanket. And this one had a few flaws, as you can see on here. It wasn't in perfect condition. And here's the tag here. Baby blankets, any kind of blankets. I've talked about blankets ad nauseum. You're probably sick of me saying it, but if you're not already, pick up blankets. They're worth great money for the right ones, the nostalgic ones. Okay, I had 2 cowboy boot sales. And I paid $10 for each pair. I don't know if people were gonna go to the Boot Scoot and Boogie or what, but I guess June was the month for it. So these are Laredo snakeskin leather western boots, and the style number is 6743, and they were a distressed one. This is another one that was sitting in my death pile forever because they just needed some conditioning on them, and I didn't really know what to do. I'm not really a shoe seller. I rarely pick up shoes. So finally I got what I needed to, you know, condition them just a little bit, and these sold in a few days. Another thing that was just sitting in my pile, and I sold it for $90. Another pair of boots that I sold are these Panhandle Slim red cowboy boots. I loved these boots when I picked them up, and I thought they would sell for more and quicker than they did, but these were probably listed for about a year. And I can tell that because I've got this fantastic setup here with like some poster board or something. But I think they were just the wrong size. They're a 6 narrow. That's somebody with a teeny tiny foot. I can only fit like my big toe in that, I think. But $65 somebody paid for these fantastic boots. Okay, for $3 I picked up this Aramis Pre-Electric Lotion. This is for like the electric shaver. This is for men. And again, this is another thing, I couldn't find a comp on it, so I just priced it high according to what other Aramis items had sold for, and it sold for $130 for some partially used, you know, 25% is gone, shave lotion. I mean, crazy, but people, they're looking for that nostalgic scent, and like maybe their dad used it or their grandpa used it, or they've used it forever and they like what they like. So some people are willing to pay what I would call bananas prices for items. And when you're doing liquid items or things that have been used, always take a picture of it on the scale so the buyer knows exactly how much they're getting. And obviously this includes the bottle on there, but it's originally a 6 fluid ounce bottle, and there's 5 ounces total with the bottle. And then I also measure it like this, so again, they know how much is gone. So that's a tip there. Okay, up next for $16, I picked up this Rival ice cream yogurt maker. This is a huge bucket, like a plastic bucket style ice cream maker. And I just loved the color. Now, there are many colors of this ice cream maker available. They come in white, I think I saw blue and ivory. But this pink one, I was the only one that had it, again, so I priced it high. And it sold for $100. And I don't remember if it sold overnight or just in that same week. But $100 for this super cute ice cream maker. Okay, these next 3 items are side of the road finds. So this is a Shark Duo Clean Power Head vacuum nozzle brush roller. It's just this head part there. That's it. There's no other vacuum. It's just this head. And it sold for $40 overnight for just a vacuum part. And I didn't even clean it out that well. I didn't feel like it. It didn't matter. Whoever needed it, and they're gonna fix up the vacuum. They know better than me. I made it presentable. But $40. So if you see a vacuum on the side of the road, or you have a vacuum, think about parting it out. I sold the other things off of this vacuum also, like the different tools on it. I sold those. So I probably made $50, $60 off this Shark vacuum. It's not even a Dyson vacuum. It's a Shark vacuum, which is still a good vacuum, but people wouldn't necessarily think to part those out. Okay, this other side of the road find is this Red Dragon first edition hardcover book. And that sold for $43. And along with that book, I also found, this is quite the combo, I found this little tiny elephant. And this is a tiny one, like this big. And it sold for $20. And that's why I wanted to show it to you, because you probably wouldn't necessarily think that this tiny Garanimals, this is a Walmart plush, would sell for $20. But some baby probably lost theirs, and mom and dad needed to replace it. And see, as you can see, this is only not even a 5-inch stuffed animal, super, super tiny. And it sold for $20. So again, lovey stuffed animals, things that kids would carry around. Always look those things up. Alright, moving on to Mercari. This is another side of the roads find. So this is a Nike basketball backpack that I sold for $23. So pure profit for me, other than, you know, the Mercari fees. And this one you can put a basketball or a ball, whatever kind of ball you wanted at the front of this backpack, which is pretty neat. And it wasn't in the greatest, you know, condition. It had a little bit of fading, but still great profit, especially for a free item. Okay, up next is this Lego Shimmer and Shine Sparkle Spa Lego set. And I paid $7 for this at an Overstock type of store. Legos, everybody knows, I think these are always pretty much always a bolo. No, I found these Lego Movie 2 series don't really move that fast. But Christmas is coming, and so I'll probably get rid of the rest of mine then, because I think I have like 3 more sets, identical sets of this one. Okay, another toy that I sold for $6. I picked up this Discovery Kids Teach and Talk laptop. I thought this was pretty cute. I had one of these, or something similar to this, when I was a kid. I think mine was actually a VTech one. And I guess this is a good item to have if you don't want your kids having internet access. It's a really simple learning item. And this was going to a little boy for his birthday. And this sold for $71. Okay, up next from an estate sale, I picked up this American Tourister travel train case for $1. And it sold for $25. I just love this. It had such charm to it. It gave me I Love Lucy, you know, 50s style vibes to it. So you can tell I love Lucy. So obviously I had to pick that up. And this one had a little bit of discoloration on the inside. And it was broken right there. But it sold, I think, overnight still. So can't complain about that at all. And it sold for $25. Now for $5 at an estate sale, I picked up this set of 3 Pyrex Blue Garland Snowflake bowls. Now I never see Pyrex. Now I know some of y'all see Pyrex all the freaking dang time. I like never see it. And when I do, it looks like it's been to the dishwasher and dragged across the front lawn because it's just not in good condition. I just couldn't believe this. This is at a lady, an older lady had this at her sale. And this sold for $101, and I think this, like 101 Dalmatians. Yeah, this sold, I think, in about a month, and I can't complain about that at all. I just absolutely loved that set. If it wouldn't have been worth so much, I would have kept it for myself. Okay, for $3 at a thrift store, I picked up this MTV zipper binder made by Stuart Hall. I can't tell you how many times the song by Dire Straits, I want my MTV song played in my head every time when I listed this and when I packed this up. That ain't working. That's the way you do it. A lot. I think the kids in Nova got tired of me singing it. Anyway, so I paid $3 for this. It sold for $50 for this binder. 90s style right now is super hot. Somebody wanted to show their MTV love. And I was happy for them. Okay, and for $1, I picked up this VHS VCR Sony recorder, and that sold for 50 bucks. VHS players in general, or bolo, especially Sony ones, make sure they work. If you're at the thrift store, generally you can plug them in, and if they have a VHS cassette that you can stick in there, see if it'll go in there and start, you know, trying to play. That's what you can do if there's, you know, you can't hook it up to a TV at a thrift store. You can at least plug it in and see if it turns on. Okay, moving on to Poshmark. My first item is this J. Renee shoes with this pocket watch embroidery. These are so cool. They reminded me of Alice in Wonderland. I just love them. They were a size 7. They sold for $40 and I paid $4 for them. This is another side of the road find. This is a doll drum set. Completely free. No, I didn't make a whole lot off of it. It sold for $22. But this is just a little, you know, doll drum set. I always look up doll accessories. People love these things for their American Girl dolls or their Our Generation dolls, things like that. And the last item I'm going to share with you from Poshmark is this Bimbo Bread Chef Puppet. And I always look up puppets, and always you should look up obscure characters, advertising characters, things like that. So I paid $2 for this guy, and he sold for $25, and it probably still took about 2 or 3 months for this guy to sell. Okay, moving on to Facebook Marketplace. These actually sold on offer for $45. They're Chaco men's hiking sandals, and I only paid $1 for these at a yard sale. And yeah, I just couldn't believe it. These were in fantastic shape. Okay, another sale for someone going down to the honky tonk. For $8, I picked up these Larry Mahan cowboy boots, and they sold for $70. And you can see the style and the name right here. Okay, and up next for $3, I bought this Rowenta iron, and I normally don't look at the irons, but this Rowenta brand normally is pretty pricey to buy in the store, so I decided to look it up, and this probably took about a month to sell. Okay, for whatever reason, I couldn't get this link to work on my Facebook Marketplace platform, so unlike what LeVar Burton says, you're just going to have to take my word for it. But this sold for $40, and I paid $3 for this at a yard sale. This is a craftware ice bucket. It's really lightweight. It's like plastic, and it's kind of like this vinyl or linoleum coated bucket. Super lightweight. Sold really quickly, I would say in like a week or so. And people are looking for these kinds of retro type items for their bars. Okay, and this last item is this Lefton Cape Cod Lighthouse lamp. And again, if you have something that should work, show it working. You can kind of see in this front picture here that the light's on the inside, and I took lots of pictures of it working. And so I paid $1 for this. I think I got it at a thrift store, and it sold for $25. Okay, so that's all for me for right now. I hope you enjoyed this. If you missed part 1 of what I sold in June, please make sure you go back and watch that video. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a great big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below so I know I'm not just talking into the great big abyss out there. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye! Oh, this is our new little puppy. She doesn't have a name yet, but she's a Pomeranian also, just like Nova. Oh, so precious. Oh, she's only a baby right now. We don't have a name yet. If you have any name suggestions, please leave me a comment down below. Isn't she the most precious little thing? Nova's jealous. Bye.